At the beginning of the story, we see a man named Suns who kills an unknown woman for a very small matter, but that woman's son Jung was secretly watching all this, but he could not help his mother. When Susu was arrested, it was found that he had already committed many similar crimes. However, Susu did not intend to kill Jung's mother, and his mental condition was also not good. The court sentences him to only 3 years, after which Jung feels that injustice has been done to him. He was feeling helpless from outside, but the fire of revenge was burning in his heart. While taking Susu from the court, Jung felt very bad. Bala says which makes him more scared. Now we are shown the scene after 12 years where we see that Susu still beats people without any reason. Once Susu beat a bus driver badly, and that too just because Susu was harassing the other passengers in the bus, after which the driver informed the police. But when Susu was hitting the bus driver, Susu also noticed that someone was secretly watching him, so he got off the bus. Car starts walking on the road, but that unknown person also starts chasing Susu. Then after some time he stops Susu and kills him by beating him. This person is none other than Jung, the son of that dead woman. He was going to become a police officer soon. That's why Jung used to spend most of his time in police training. During the day, he would train to become a police officer, but at night he would become a vigilante, that is, those people who find criminals and punish them. There are criminals who escape the law or get out of jail due to some conspiracy. One night, Jung sees 2 men harassing a girl by urinating through her window, so he kills both of them and immediately leaves the place. The girl is also surprised to see him. After going home, he reads a news article in which it was written that a doctor has sexually abused many girls and has also made a video of them. But despite all this, he has been given a life expectancy of just 6 months. He is jailed, his license is not revoked, nor does he have to pay any fine, and he is still running his business openly. Jung ends up in the operating theater of the doctor, where he was about to sexually assault a girl. After being kicked, Jung advises him to improve and also says that if you love your life, then find another job. On the other hand, we see that a journalist named Choi is having a meeting with her boss. She tells her boss that how come every day someone is killing a criminal. There was one thing in common among all these criminals: despite committing big crimes, they were roaming around freely, and yes, there was an article on all this in the newspaper. That's why the journalists feel that someone is killing those criminals with the help of newspaper, after which, to increase the TRP of their channel, they decide to run the news of that unknown person on their channel. The unknown person, i.e. Jung, was presented as a hero by saying how he helps the helpless people by eliminating the criminals. The girl whose goons were urinating outside her house and Jung had beaten her also came on the news. Jung starts praising her. He was watching this news during his police training and he was very happy to hear that woman. Her image on the internet had become like a superhero. Here the TRP of the news channel also increased. He noticed that Vigilante carries out his mission only during weekends. This time it had been more than a week, but no one came forward in the news. When the news channel started worrying about its TRP, they themselves laid a trap for Vigilante. He named Hyun. News was published about a criminal who used to physically torture children, but even after this he was released from jail after only 7 years. Seeing this news, people get angry and they come out on the streets and start protesting. Jung is also that criminal. When Yeon leaves his house at night, Choi starts following him, but after some time, he disappears from her sight due to traffic. Then we see Hyun dressed as a delivery boy. He was actually going to a girl's house posing as a delivery boy to make her his victim. A police officer was stationed outside the girl's house so that he could help her. After some time, after confronting the police officer, he would stab her completely in the stomach. Not only this, he also throws acid on her face. Hearing the noise outside, when the girl opens her door, Hyun immediately grabs her. Hyun tells the girl that if I had killed you in your childhood, then today people would have had he not been abusing me because of you. He was about to kill her when our hero Jung arrives there and he beats Hyun fiercely. He beats him to such an extent that Hyun starts begging for his life. Hyun told him that I will leave you alive only if you write your apology on the wall. By the time Choi reached the girl's house, Jung had finished his work and left. When Choi read the message written in blood on the wall, she understood that this work was none other than Vigilante's. Now what happened was that Jung had become a hero in the eyes of the public, but the police thought that he was a criminal and they killed him not in panic but after thinking and planning the whole thing. The police called the news channel and asked them to stop making Vigilante a hero in the eyes of the people. Hearing this, people started calling the police on call after call and started saying that what Vigilante did was absolutely right. Choi also tells her boss that we are not doing anything wrong, but she has found 3 more cases which will increase the channel's ratings. The next day the news comes about how a man named Do Yopi broke into his old boss's house and he killed his wife and children. He also took some children from the street with him so that all the blame could be put on them. One of them was jailed for a few months because he was a minor. Ji Yong once again took command. With the help of social media, he tried to find the club where Do Yopi used to go often. He also noticed that if someone commented wrongly on Do Yeop's post, he used to threaten to kill that person. Ji Yong went to the club and it turns out that Do Yopi is a drug dealer and he always transacted in cash so as not to get caught. Then once when Do Yopi was going to the dealers with drugs, Jung followed Do Yopi when meeting the dealer. When he returns, there was a note on his car saying call this number. On calling, Do Yop realizes that it is an agent's number. Then when Do Yop reaches the club, he sees that the police have arrested him. Raid, but he runs to his house to hide, but before he could reach home Ji Yong arrived there. He was about to burn all his money in front of him when Do Yopi tried to rebel. Ji Yong killed him. He beat him and asked him to reform, but even then Do Yop had no remorse for his actions. Seeing this, Ji Yong burned all his money with petrol. Then he showed Do Yop the video of the family he had killed and apologized to them. The next day, when the police reached the spot, they found Do Yop dead. The police were determined to prove Vigilante wrong by all means, but people had started liking her a lot. A police officer caught Do Yop's companion and asked him if he had seen anyone around Do Yop. At first he was not ready to say anything, but after a little preparation, he opened his mouth and said that on the day of the murder, Do Yop was asked by an agent to call him. After this, the police officer calls his senior and says that he will hold that Vigilante under any circumstances. Meanwhile, the common people also started following the footsteps of Vigilante. It is as if they have taken the law into their own hands. After this we see that Jung is researching a new case in which a truck driver blows up a delivery boy and instead of helping him, runs the truck over him again so that he can save his face. But even after all this, he was sentenced to only 1 year in jail. The next day, Ji Young sees the delivery boy's mother holding the truck driver by his collar and cursing at him, but the truck driver says that I am innocent because I will go to jail and come back. Chun Ji Young understands that the truck driver is not at all ashamed of his actions. The next day he kills the truck driver by drowning him in the pool, but we see that this villain had hidden his face with a mask and Ji Young was helping his neighbor at that time. He sees in Young News that he is being accused of the murder of a truck driver. The police does not find any evidence from the spot. Another channel also adopted the strategy of Choi's channel. Adopting this, he started showing criminal cases every day and running the news of Vigilante, due to which that fake Vigilante continuously eliminated many criminals. Not only this, he hid his identity and also sent a video to that news channel. In the video, he said that I agree that my work is no less than that of a criminal, but I will keep doing it. Then when Jung saw that someone was bent on tarnishing his image, he got very angry. The police felt that if Vij had been brought, Din Baden would have started considering himself a hero. If he continues like this, then it will be difficult to stop him. Then one day they caught that fake Vigilante, but the police officer understood from his words that he is fake. In the next scene we see that Jung's neighbor is on the car with his hand. When she was taking the car, a man named Sam Do starts shouting at her and asks her to leave the relationship. It takes some time for the elderly woman to remove her hand from the car. Sam Do hits her with the car present next to her. The owner of a shop was watching all this, and when he interrupted Sam Do about this, he turned and beat him too, but in return the owner of that shop also beat Sam Do badly and complained to the police, but the police on the contrary arrested him. The shop owner was caught in the act of cheating and Sado was immediately sent to the hospital, but seeing this, Jung got angry. On top of that, the old lady was his close friend. Jung was investigating about Sam Do's house that night. The brother comes and starts threatening the elderly woman. She did not even think that she was lying on the bed. Seeing this, Jung kicked her hard and then strangulated her and took her life. On the other hand, Choi Vij has a new strategy to reach Lanti. A plan is made in which they will keep an eye on the hospital in which Sam-doo was admitted. Then the police officer reaches the hospital. After this, the guard of the hospital gets a call that someone has hid your car parked in the parking lot, but it was just a trick of Jung. So that he can enter Sam-doo's room, Jung stops Sam-doo's mother-in-law and tells him that in the court you will say that give me a severe punishment, and if you do not say so then I will come again, and then you will get many times more punishment than that woman. I will give more pain. When the police find out that someone had falsely called the security guard, they run towards Sam-doo's room. But Ji-young passes by the police officer wearing a doctor's coat and goes to Sam-doo's room. When no one is found inside, the police officer alerts everyone to keep an eye on the 20-year-old boy wearing a doctor's shirt. The police team realizes that all the CCTV cameras in the security room have also stopped working. Meanwhile, Jung comes out of the hospital. Sam-doo decides that he will surrender himself. He was about to call his brother to say that when the fake Vizsla comes and attacks him and takes his dead body, throws him down from the window of the hospital. All the police officers and reporters turn their attention towards Sam-doo's dead body while he escapes in the fake Vizsla ambulance. Jung starts chasing him. The fake Vizsla praises Jung's work. He does this and tells her that I am doing this so that if you have left any evidence behind, I can destroy it. He had also switched off the CCTV cameras of the hospital. He even talks about partnership with Jung, but Jung was looking at him from the perspective of a criminal because he had killed many criminals without giving them a chance to reform, after which a scuffle broke out between the two. Jung tells him that you have spoiled my reputation. After hanging on the roof, he demands fake Vizsla Jung to save him and says that in return he will also reveal his identity, but Jung tells him to save his own life and then he leaves from there. No stone was left unturned in finding Vizsla. Choi's camera had captured Jung, but his face was not visible in the recording. Jung was healing his wounds, but then he got a message from that fake Vizsla. He told Jung, I can work with you as your partner so that you can mislead people about your location. Jung still refuses to work with him. The next day he reveals the identity of the fake Vizsla to us. Turns out it was Jo Gang-gok, the vice chairman of Choi's news channel. When he learns that Choi Jung was captured on video, he approaches her and takes her USB to examine the evidence. At that time the police was discussing that Vij uncle has a lot of knowledge about police investigation, etc. Then the police officer reaches the police academy to discuss the case with his senior. There he saw Jung and it came to his mind that maybe he has seen this somewhere, but he does not pay attention to this thought. Then he discusses with his senior that Vij Lanate might be some man from the police force. Then he sees young police officer leaving from the police academy. After this the police officer he goes to a restaurant to check the CCTV footage, but he finds out that someone had already molested him. Actually Sam-doo's brother had checked the CCTV footage. The police officer tracks him and reaches his base where he and Sam-doo's brother have a gang fight. The police officer tells Sam-doo's brother to stop finding his brother's murderer. It's the police's job. Then we see that during class, Jung's professor tells him to stop his actions. Jung asks about the injury on his face. Jung says that he got it during gym training. At the same time, a police officer comes to pick up Jung. Along with him, there was also a girl who came to thank Jung because she had trained him the previous night. He had saved her from the goons. Jung got into this thought. Then he thought that it might be the work of a fake Vizsla or a gang. He also accepted the girl's thank you. Then Jung's professor asked him that he had told about his injury. Why did I lie? Jung said that I thought that the talk of a police student and civilian fighting could cause a problem, so I hid it. Here we see that maybe Jung might need Jo Gang-gok. Choi the next day. Choi reaches her friend's office to meet him and tells him the name of a company and asks for its information, to which Choi's friend says that it is a very big company which invests money in many different businesses, the largest in Korea. This company is also behind betting and drug dealing, which it does through illegal websites. Here we come to know that the drugs dealer whom Jung had killed also worked for this company, and not only this, the owner of this company there is also a criminal who is living freely despite making big allegations. Then Choi's friend tells him that there is an actor who can give you more information about this company. After reaching the actor's house, these people see that Choi has hanged himself and tells the police that it is not suicide but murder, but the police find a suicide note from the actor. That is why they refuse to believe Choi. Choi's friend tells him that it is said that the actor had changed the location of the meeting at the last minute, hence it is possible that the evidence is still at the same old location. On this side, Jung calls Gang Gok to meet him at the bus terminal. Actually, Gang Gok had met a girl. She had sent him to meet Jung, who takes him to a place, but the police officer was keeping an eye on Jung. As soon as the girl left, he told Jung that I am investigating Vigil's case and I am suspicious of you. I do want to catch Lantic, but I just want to tell him not to do whatever he is doing and not to take the law into his hands. The police officer feels that if Vig catches Lantic, the public will support him and in his eyes he will become a hero after this. Jung tells Gango that if he hacks the police officer's phone, he will consider working with him. Choi and his friend reach the location where the actor was supposed to meet them earlier. There were many illegal services present at the place. Seeing Choi's car, an unknown person reaches there who wanted to kill both of them. While Choi's friend manages to escape, he gets caught by that person and he has to lose his life. Choi she manages to escape from there, and that very night she reaches those containers with the police, but neither her friend's body nor even a single computer is found there. So friends, what else is going to happen in this story if you read this? If you want to know, then quickly complete 2K laps on this video. As soon as 2K laps are completed, you will get to see the second part of this video where we will see who killed the actor, who killed Choi's friend and who is behind Choi. And along with all this, it is going to be very interesting to see what happens with the real and fake Vigilante. So well guys, that's all in today's video, thanks and goodbye.